Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome back to another video. So after watching Deadpool and Wolverine, I kind of got, was at the theaters, kind of got reinvigorated to do a couple more versions of Blade. So like, first of all, that was just kind of like just a huge highlight to be able to watch that and see, not just watch, but to see Blade back on screen again. And so if you notice, well, you may not notice, but I'll show a comparison too. I redid my Deadpool and Wolverine Blade from how I originally did it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just, I love comparisons, which is another reason why I wanted to do the 3 different versions. I love the Blade series, love the Blade movies, and not so much Trinity, but that had its own issues. I do like parts of it, but as a whole, the first 2 movies are great. Love when we saw Wesley come back and do it again. So hopefully we can see him. I know he's supposedly signed on for Secret Wars, and I forgot what the other movie is. So hopefully he'll actually be back for those. And I still want to see what Mahershala does with it too. So hopefully they don't cancel his. So just kind of get into the original Blade. I still love this one. I think I just recently went back over his vest to give it more of a matte look, using my lovely Angela's paint, the leather paint, because the bulletproof vest had more of a leather matte look to it though. So I wanted to go back over that with it. And then I did, which it doesn't really show up on camera, I did brush over his skin with a lighter brown just to kind of give it some highlights. Because the original paint, this was already a painted head, so I didn't paint this one initially. It had the just a flat brown, so I wanted to give a little more depth to it. Other than that, so this is off the Mansco body. The Mansco Blade came out some years back. The only thing that's still original from it is the body. Everything, the body and the hands. Everything else is customized. The pants I got from GPS Lot. Same for the shirt. I forgot who I got the vest from. Had someone print that for me and I painted. I said that's the only thing. The sword is the same too in the holster. I mean, the sword holster is the same. But as far as the jacket, I got the jacket from GPS Lots. Everything else is pretty much different on this. But I've been customizing this over the past several years. I love this look of Blade. From the trench coat, this is a wide trench coat, like I said, I got from GPS Lots. But this is still one of my favorite. It's not like it's the whole. Well, here's a few different versions of Blade, but it's still one of my favorite looks. I love how this version of Blade came out. I don't know if it shows up, use some Rebel Buff to go over the boots a little bit, just to make some of the details stand out. So let's put him back over here. Hopefully he won't fall. Okay. So then this one I just actually finished this weekend from Blade 2. For years, I have been wanting to make the Blade 2 version of Blade. Problem is, I couldn't find a vest anywhere. So I got this vest printed from, actually it was a vest, the head, and it actually came with the sword holster, the sword and the sword holster. I got that from 3DM Customs off Instagrams. Does a lot of good work. I just kind of ran into him, just kind of fell into some of his stuff, and he's printed a couple of things for me. Not necessarily me individual, that's what he does. He, prints things. One of the things I do like about this, so this is my only version of Blade that you cannot take the shades off. So I did have to paint the shades and everything. Excuse me. Had to paint the shades. But what I do like is the tattoos. I did not have to freehand the tattoos on here because, I did have to paint them, but I didn't have to freehand them in like I did with this Blade. I'll show you what I mean. This one actually had the raised tattoo markings, so it made it a lot easier to paint. So, I think I have really nice detail with that. So it made it a lot easier to be able to paint that. Same for the lips. The lips and, I was about to say the eyes, for the eyes I'm showing here. The lips and the area for the mustache were actually raised, so it made it a little easier. I love the vest work on here. Now, this vest is customized too, because the vest initially does not have these holsters on them. I actually added that to give the look from how he looked in when he was down in the sewers chasing after the Reapers. So I added that. That's from the Agent Venom, and he had several holsters, so I actually took those, and then took these guns too from Agent Venom. And I just used some putty and glued them on, not putty, but epoxy, to glue them onto here because there were gaps, so just super glue itself wasn't going to work. Same for the guns. I did use epoxy to fill in the gaps on them and to add this extra piece across the top. If I can get it to show up right. Because that's the closest thing I can get to how Blade's guns look in Blade 2. And then for the spikes, I actually made this out of, let me put it back over here. Just stand him up real quick. I actually made those out of these Q-tips. So I cut the Q-tips in half, and then I use epoxy, rolled it around it, so I can have a spike. Because I actually used up the last of my spikes on a custom for a friend. So I had to make some new spikes, and I think this came out really well. So they are individual spikes, so they can come out of here if I wanted to pose them in different ways. This gun keeps wanting to fall out. So I wanted to pose them in different ways, but I really like how this came out. It was something else I was going to say about. Oh, that's another thing. The head is actually one piece. I mean, he still can move his head around. So he has articulation, look up and down, all that. But if you have a figure that it has a neck already on it, you'll have to take that off because this is all one piece. The head and neck is one piece together. So, which, I mean, it makes sense because that's the only way he was going to be able to get this lovely design printed on there, right? And the body is oh shoot, what body is this? This is the Nowhere Toys body. So I really like how that body actually came out of, oh, that's another thing I'm going to show. But I like how this body is. It fit this perfectly. I also, again, used the Angelus leather paint to get the leather look of this vest, because this vest was less, I don't even know if it was supposed to be bulletproof in the movie. I do know, I had that leather look. So I used that to go over it. And then I used the leather paint sealant to go over it. And then just kind of use a little bit of rub and buff to kind of give it slight weathering to it, but not much. I didn't want it to look like it was just really old. Same for the boots, did the same thing. And then the sword, painted the sword to give it a nice sheen to it. Let me put Blade back up here. Painted the sword to give it a nice sheen to it. And I don't know if it's can show on camera. I'm trying to get where the light hits it right. Because there is a bit of a design on here, which I don't know if the movie had the design or not, but I thought that was a really nice touch doing that. But anyways, very detailed how he did it. So I thought that was a nice touch because I would have never noticed it, but hey, I can't get the sword back in there. There we go. I would have never noticed it if he didn't do that, but it was a nice touch him actually putting that in there. And then there it is, Blade from Deadpool and Wolverine, which kicked off this whole craze. A lot of people doing the newer Blade designs. So this I did before, of course, before getting this one. So I was kind of going and trying to find what the designs on the back of Blade's neck look like. So I really didn't have a lot of, you have references, but it was hard trying to find like just a consistent one because it changes in each movie. So one of the things, so if I can show you the difference. So this was freehand, that was freehand doing the design and was a pain in the butt doing. And this is, so just kind of showing the difference in the markings. So one freehand, and this doesn't look bad, but this looks way better because it was printed on. I had a guide to go by, so it's out there. But I still love. I don't know which one I like best out of the 3 blades. I mean, all 3 of them are great in their own right. And yes, he did not have the sword in here, but if you looked on the wall in the movie, when he went and got this machete, he had a bunch of swords on there. So I like to think that he still had his sword. And in my version, he's carrying his sword still. And while we did not see the back of it, he did have his glaive with him. I don't know where he had it. So in my mind, that's where he put it. And that's where I have it on here. And I do have this, it fell off. So this holster, you can actually fit the machete in there. Again, you know, this holster from this blade, he still has one on his hip. From the Mezco blade, still has one on his hip, and I took the other one off and put it here because the one that had the glaive like in the movie. Much like in my first attempt for this blade, I drilled a hole in the back to put a magnet on there so I could actually use that for, what did I do with the sword? Here it is. Use that for the sword. Put a metal piece on the back of the sword so I can just attach it. So I always hated having figures where you have accessories and you have to pick and choose which accessories you want to use. I figure if you have accessories, I should be able to equip whatever accessories I have on the figure. So that's a big pet peeve of mine. I did repaint the gun. So this is I think this is the Mac 10 or Mac 9. I don't know. I'm not really up on my guns. Anyways, the gun he had in Blade 1. I just redid that, repainted it, brushed it, and then I used some metallic blue paint mixed with a little silver, and then I used some gold rub and buff, and then I used some black rub and buff to kind of give it that weathered look, how it looks in the movie. And then I cut a spike off. It was some extra piece I had. Cut the tip of it off, glued it here, and then I cut the barrel off another gun to give it so it looked as close as it could to that gun in the movie that he had in the movie, without me paying another $10 because that's about how much it is to get one of these bad boys. $10 for it. This I took off this leg holster. This also has a magnet on it, so the gun can actually stick to the actually holds to the holster. I took that off my original version of Blade. It's my original version, my first draft of this Blade. So right now he's just a headless body. So this is and I thought this looked really close to, like, wow, it looks just like it. And it doesn't look bad still. But I'm one of those people that I like it looking as close as possible. So that's why I redid this one. So, I mean, again, this is not bad, but there's a clear difference between it. I mean, even down from I forget where I got the knee pads for this one. But even looking at the back, now I don't know if the back of it was red or not. It probably wasn't, but I wanted it to be red, so I just painted that red strip on the back of this one. Let me put this back over here. Oh, for the clothing, I got the clothing from the soft goods from New Toys or New Customs. I'll put the link down. If I'm saying it, I apologize. I'll put it down in the description. So if you want to go there, but they have I found them on Instagram, and they have a website. You can go and order things. So, but I got the shirt from there, and then I repainted it to give it a two-tone look. And what I like about the quality of these are really good. They're kind of thick, which is good. They don't feel like they're gonna tear or anything. It actually came with some pants, with compression pants as well. I just didn't need them for this one. The pants I got from VC Toys. It came with the pants and the jacket is for the Ghost Rider figure. And then I just taped up the knee parts and not repainted, but painted to give it more of a leather look. Then I went over the entire suit with silver rough and buff to give it more of a weathered look. I didn't want it to look as new as one of these. Because in the movie it looked like he had been through some things. So then I also, went through it, give it weathered scratches and all that stuff. So I really love it. Same for the knee pads, did the same thing. The gloves, I forgot which figure I took the gloves from, because I had originally painted the hands, but then I decided I don't want to do that. I have another figure that I realized I had gloves that look close to the movie gloves. The machete, I got this from the Baroness, classic, what's it? G.I. Joe Classified Baroness. It's a movie version, I believe. It was in the Snake Eyes movie. And I don't remember what figure this came from. I can't, maybe it was Ghost Tsushima, I'm not sure. But I really love how these figures came out. And again, I don't know which one's my favorite. I mean, they, oh, that's the thing. So I can take the shades off this blade and the original blade. The one I got from, that I got from 3DM Customs, I cannot take the shades off. But not that he doesn't make it, he does make a version without the shades. I just decided to not get that version of it, mainly because I didn't have any more shades. These were the Mezco shades, so I think I gave another pair to a friend when I did his custom blade. I didn't have any more shades, so I just wanted to make sure. So I just ordered the version that came with the shades, but he does have one, a couple of them that he makes without the shades. So you should really go check out 3DM Custom stuff. He has a lot of good things on there. Right now, I need all my Blade fixes because he has a couple of full kits for Blade, Wolverine, all that good stuff. Oh, now this has nothing to do with Blade, but I just want to show this off. So this is my movie Gambit. So glad Channing got to do this. I got this from eBay. This head from eBay. I really like how this, if I can get it to focus, I really like how this head came out. It looks different from a lot of the Gambit heads that are out there. And that's why I liked it. It looked more, to me, it looks more like Channing than a lot of the heads out there. Not saying mine is better. But the sculpt that they're using does not look, it looks like him, but not really like him. So this is the Mezco body. So the only thing that I changed, that I necessarily added was this head. I swapped the head out. As far as the body, it's the exact same body. Nothing's different. I did go over this with the boots of some silver. I repainted the suit to give it the darker blue highlights, not the dark blue, but the blue highlights down towards the bottom. And then kind of brush it over the upper part. So when the light hits it, it has that blue look to it. And that came out much better than I thought it would. Then I went over the suit with the wash. I did a black and a brown wash because he did not have just this pristine jacket. It's a weathered jacket. So went over with that, and that is, yeah, that's pretty much. Let's see if I can get Gambit in here. Let's get him in here with the gang, Blade and the guys. You know, I'm gonna put him on that side since, let's move this Blade over. See if we can get him in without any of these falling over. Move him here. And then we'll put Gambit here. I did have to drill a hole in this Gambit's head. Not drill a hole, but had to make a oh doggone, what is it? So it would actually fit on this scope. I had to kind of drill in the head a little bit so it fit on the neck, and it was a little bit big. Oh, that's what I want to show. So this is what I'm talking about, the difference in the Gambit head. I know this is my Blade thing, but I want to show this. So I haven't painted this yet. I forget where I got this from. But this is the head that you see most people using. This one, while the hair is a little more accurate on this, as far as how the style look, I do like this because it looks like this is him being in the middle of a fight. But I think the face on this Blade looks a lot better. It looks closer to Channing. If this is all I had, and this is a reflection I bought, I was going to use it and I found another one. This is all I had that I want to use it, been good to go. But saw this in the last minute. This was cheaper too. It was much cheaper. But I'll still use this for something because I bought it. So I'm going to find something useful. I might get the Marvel Legends Marvel Legends Gambit and put it on that head. Oh, one thing I did want to show. These holsters, the way I put them on here, you can't, actually I don't think you can do it even with the regular. You can't put these guns in these holsters. So what I did, since the Age of Venom actually came with these, they have just the back of the guns. So anytime I want to showcase them with the swords and have the guns in the holsters, you just slide these the back of the handle of the gun into the holsters. So this is all you're seeing. So it looks like the whole gun is in there. It gives that nice look to it. Without, I can kind of put these to the side if I wanted him to have the spikes in his hand or the sword or something like that. So I thought that was a nice little touch that they did with the Age of Venom. You can see some of the, if you look at one of my shorts, or was it the one I did of this one, where you can see one of the pictures where he's actually holding a sword in one hand and a gun, and you can see the hilt of the gun in the holster, not the hilt, but the handle in the holster. And that was, courtesy of using these. So I thought that was a nice little touch for him. Oh, I did want to mention, these two bodies are usually nowhere bodies. I got it from 5K Toys. That's the only place that I've seen them so far. I don't think I've seen them anywhere else. This is the Mezco body. That's the Mezco body. These bodies are a little bigger than the original Blade body. I'm not sure how much you really can't tell, since this one actually has a jacket on and everything. So it still makes them all kind of like looking the same scope, which is perfect for me. Because it gets that look if I want to do, hey, 3 decades of Blade. That's what we got. It's not 3 decades of Blade, but y'all know what I mean. It's really only been 2.5. So, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit like, subscribe, share it, and just check out some of my stuff. I also have a TikTok and Instagram page, all under my Crimson Reigns name. So it's the same symbol. So if you go on there, you pull it up, it's gonna be the same little Crimson Reign logo that I have on here. So but just check them out and see what you may see some things you like. Hopefully you see some things you like. You want to share those too. And just check it out. All right, see you in the next video.